I am going to rank Donald Trump against my criminal offenses tier list. We all know some crimes are more rad than others. No doubt insurance fraud is better than stalking, and Donald Trump is no stranger to a courtroom. Dude's had 4 criminal investigations and 91 felony charges this year alone. I'm not even done counting. Few criminals could even hope to be this busy. So I think that it's high time that Trump is dropped into the Thunderdome and analyzed to his limits to see if he is the coolest criminal. Trump's first batch of charges come from his bribery of Stormy Daniels. Trump and Stormy allegedly, had relations back in the day, and he didn't want her to ruin his election in 2016. So he bribed the lady. He caught a charge of falsifying business records, fraud, because he recorded this hush money as legal fees. These next crimes are going to be ramping up this man's skill level. I don't think we've seen the best out of Donnie Boy here. But for now, I'm going to count these crimes as a bribery and a fraud, putting Trump safely in C tier. When Trump left office, he did the giant illegal version of stealing the soap from your hotel room when you check out. He stored a massive amount of documents that he took from the White House in his bathroom. Like, there were boxes on boxes on boxes of this stuff. These documents were important parts of a case that was being made against him at the time. Can we take a side tangent here for a second? The worst part about reading about Donald Trump in this day and age is the apparently necessary 70% of the article that is dedicated to gathering outrage tweets about whatever thing happened that week. It is so annoying. Don't fall into the pit of outrage culture and instead pee all over that subscribe button. A golden showers joke, you did not see that coming. Let's be real now. Rain that lizard all over that subscribe button. Back on track, the feds want their classified documents back. And Trump didn't want to give his expensive toilet paper back. Dude couldn't read that stuff. No way. I feel like the new age John Oliver with all this material. His house got legally raided for those documents, and he hid them from his own attorney so they would not be submitted to a grand jury. He also claimed that he didn't do this. Genius level 5D chess maneuver, which later got him charged with perjury because he was lying. Trump was officially charged with willful retention of national defense information, fraud, conspiracy to obstruct justice, attempt, withholding a document or record, fraud, concealing a document in a federal investigation, fraud, a scheme to conceal, attempt, and false statements and representations, perjury. That's 1 perjury, D tier, 2 attempted crimes, both F tier, and 3 fraudulent crimes, C tier. If we average all of our scores out right now, Trump is sitting pretty at a C-. It drug him down a little bit, but it wasn't enough to pull him down a letter grade. Let me tell you all a little something about January 6th. Trump loses to Biden, claims stolen election, rallies his brain-dead troops to storm the Capitol. In an attempt to overturn the election, they try it. People take incriminating pictures of themselves eating Nancy Pelosi's underwear. People go to jail. Starting to feel like Jimmy Kimmel talking about all this stuff. Jesus Christ. I feel like people would love it if a group of people who were not white nationalists built a gallows stand outside of the Capitol building in Minecraft. Because that is undeniably hard. That goes hard. It just sucks that the wrong people were the ones to actually try and go through with it. Trump was charged with conspiracy to defraud the United States, attempt, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, attempt, and obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, disturbing the peace. What is this smell in the air? Conspiracy? Oh, that's right. It's failure. Trump failed to defraud the United States. And do we know where America's failures go? In this case, it should probably be prison, but it's not. It's F tier. Let us not forget about disturbing the peace, which is a B tier crime and inherently what this riot did. That saves the rating by a smidgen, but Trump isn't looking too rad. Alas, he has dropped down to a D tier criminal. He's adding up to be a total failure and a fraud so far. Could anything save Trump from sucking at crime? In the aftermath of January 6th, Trump was found to have created an organization of fake electors who pretended to cast votes in the Electoral College to make it seem like Donald Trump won the vote for the election. This caught Donald Trump a charge of racketeering, which, if you're aware, is an A-tier crime. A crime essentially sent from the heavens to save this man's score. He was also charged with solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, fraud, and conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer attempt. This is the most outlandish thing I've read so far. What? Aside from the objective ranking, this is unabashedly the most villainous type of stuff in this man's whole career. He has popped back up to mid because of this. Trump is a C-tier criminal once again. I think this is the start of a redemption arc. Let's bring this back. Maybe we could get a murder up in here if we're lucky. This organization that Donald Trump created, as we know of right now, 5 forgeries of government electoral ballots that were used to try and get Trump more votes in the Electoral College. Just making more electoral ballots that were cast to you is a crazy, unbelievable move. You don't think for one second that some alarm bells would go off when the feds count up more votes from the Electoral College than there are people in the Electoral College. Voter turnout was extraordinary that year. 543 votes out of a possible 538. 101% of the Electoral College voted that year. What? Trump was charged officially with conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, attempt, false statements in writings, fraud, and conspiracy to commit filing of false documents, attempt. Where does it end? It ends here. Tallying our total score. The ranking of Donald Trump on the official criminal offenses tier list is C tier. Wah, wah. Nothing could help Trump's mid status. Maybe all of his racketeering charges could have gotten him into the nirvana that is A tier. But alas, he couldn't pull an election win out of his toupee, home over that thing that he has on his head. Donald Trump is a C tier criminal, and it is settled. If you want to see how I constructed my criminal offenses tier list to base my assumption on how awesome criminals are, check out my previous video where I did exactly that. If you like this video, leave a like because I want to do more of these. I think it'll be fun. Maybe like Walter White or like Purple Guy from FNAF. I really want to do Purple Guy from FNAF. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.